Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube. And, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza. And, as always, we're on X at The Real Captain Lou. Hey, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you get all of our great programming, live and archived, all of our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes, and, of course, the Extravaganza with yours truly and my tag team partner, Mitch Bernstein. And also the ACHA Power Play Season 10 is going on right now, the Road to St. Louis 2026. So a lot going on here on the network. We invite you, as always, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today's program, as all of our programs on the network, are brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, and that is SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. There's a game you want to go to this weekend. College football championship, conference championship weekend. There's seats available for all of those games. NFL Sunday, Monday, whatever. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off of your purchase. It is that simple. Happy Saturday morning, everybody. We mentioned happy conference championship Saturday. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, how about those Detroit Lions? Big win over Dallas on Thursday night, 44-30. Go to 8-5. They needed that win after the loss to Green Bay on Thanksgiving. Now their playoff chances are a little bit better, but then again, they suffered a blow as Brian Branch sidelined for the rest of the year with a torn Achilles injury. Just another in a long line of injuries for the Lions. Now, I know all the NFL teams have injuries. It's that point of the year, but this is definitely a devastating blow for that Lions defensive backfield as they look to try to solidify a playoff run as they are now at 8-5 with that big win, 44-30 over the Dallas Cowboys. So now the Lions get 10 days off before they take, 9 days now, as they wait to take on the Los Angeles Rams a week from Sunday. That's going to be one huge game. Another big marquee matchup, Matthew Stafford against his old team, the Detroit Lions. And as for the game on Thursday night, all we hear is all the Dallas fans and media crying about the refereeing, crying about the offensive pass interference, maybe change the outcome of the game. And for that, I say, Decker reported. That's all we got to say. Dallas has no room to complain about referee decisions or saying that the referees cost them the game. How about a couple of years ago when they said that Decker didn't report? How about 10 years ago in the playoff loss where they picked up the flag against the Lions when they were on their way to beating the Cowboys in Dallas? So the last team in the world that has anything to bitch about when it comes to referees are the Dallas Cowboys. It's called karma. You get what you got coming to you. So the referee calls all even out. And all I heard from the Detroit or the Dallas media and the Dallas fans were, referees didn't cost you that loss against our Cowboys. Well, here you go. You got the safety reversed. So the referees did not cost you, Cowboy fans or Cowboy media, that loss against the Lions. Your defense didn't show up. George Pickens was George Pickens. And again, our defense had Dak Prescott rattled. I know he got his yardage, but the referees did not cost you that game. So stop complaining and stop whining. The Lions outplayed the Cowboys. Their defense didn't show up, and the referees had nothing to do with that. Hey, it's like you always told us as Detroit fans and Detroit media, the referees did not cost you that game. It took more than that. So there you go. Turnabout is fair play. All right, here we go. Conference championship weekend is upon us, as I mentioned. Some big matchup could really alter the college football landscape. If, for example, could the ACC really have their champion left out? If Duke wins today against Virginia, that could knock the ACC champion out. It's crazy to think that we could have two group of 5 teams in. Should Duke win tonight, it looks like James Madison will probably get in as the second group of 5 team. It's unreal. Duke is at 7-5 right now. I know Virginia's a favorite, and they'll probably win. And if they win, they'll get the berth with the ACC championship. But wow, wouldn't that create some chaos tomorrow when the selection committee announces their final 12 teams in the college football playoff? Georgia, they're looking for revenge this afternoon or tonight as they take on Alabama. Alabama beat them for their only loss in the regular season. I look for Georgia to make it a victory in the conference championship. I know Kirby Smart is only 1-7 against Alabama, but I think Georgia's going to win this one this afternoon, or this afternoon into tonight. And in the Big 12 championship, or the Big 10 championship game, rather, Ohio State is going up against Indiana in a 1-2 matchup in Indianapolis. 8 o'clock is the kick for that one. That's going to be a big matchup. I really like Ohio State in this one. I know it's maybe a little bit because of what they did to Michigan, but I thought they looked pretty dominant on the defensive side of the ball. But that's going to be a huge matchup. Some people are saying this could be a preview to the national championship game. I don't know if I'd go that far because I really like how Georgia's playing right now, but I really like Ohio State in this one. I think Justin Sand is really looking good. Indiana, they've had a few close calls in that run, but both teams are undefeated going into this game tonight. It's going to be a fun matchup. And how about kicking things off this afternoon at high noon with the Big 12 championship game? BYU and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a 12.5-point favorite in this one. But if BYU wins, it could really throw this chaos into full motion with the college football playoff. BYU wins, they'll get in with only one loss. And who is that going to knock out? Potentially Miami and Notre Dame. So if you're rooting for chaos, you're going to root for BYU to win this one. They got pummeled against Texas Tech earlier in the year. In this rematch, it could be very interesting. BYU, again, a 12.5-point underdog. Texas Tech is looking very strong right now. But again, should we see an upset, we'll have two Big 12 teams in the playoffs. So this brings us to our last controversial point in the college football playoff. Miami and Notre Dame. Notre Dame right now is ranked ahead of Miami, even though Miami has won the head-to-head matchup earlier in the year. Now, in any other sport, in any other tie-breaking scenario, in any other sport, head-to-head is the first tiebreaker. I don't care that Notre Dame is on a 10-game winning streak. Both their resumes are about the same as far as their wins. None really have a marquee win, if you will. Yeah, they both beat Pitt, who's ranked, but they both pummel them about the same. And I know Notre Dame beat USC, but USC is vastly overrated. And it all comes down to me head-to-head. And how can you not take Miami over Notre Dame based on that number one tiebreak scenario that works in any other sport? So if Notre Dame gets in over Miami, it's only because of the brand. It's only because of their history. And that's not fair. Miami should get in based on the head-to-head matchup. That's what's wrong with the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. But I got a feeling, though, it's the same thing with Alabama, that they got ranked ahead of Notre Dame this week. They flip-flopped them. So that could set up, should BYU upset Texas Tech, or either Miami and Notre Dame are going to be left out in the cold. But I'll say it. If it comes down to one of these two teams getting in, Miami or Notre Dame, tiebreak has got to be used. Any other sport, tiebreak is head-to-head, and that is the number one tie-breaking scenario. One more time, I'll say it. Miami and Notre Dame, both at 10-2. Miami won in the opening game of the year against Notre Dame. Any other sport, the number one tiebreaker is head-to-head. Only in college football is that possibly not going to be the case. They're going to say that maybe Notre Dame's strength of schedule is better. I don't buy it. Their common win is against Pitt. Notre Dame beat an overrated USC team. So, yeah, they're on a 10-game winning streak, but head-to-head has got to play into it for the for a college football playoff selection. We'll have to wait and see. Since when does college football do anything that makes any sense? Hey, wanted to say this, though, real quick before we go to break. Pat Fitzgerald, the new head coach at Michigan State, he's fitting right in. You saw him at the college basketball game for Michigan State the other night against Iowa. Last night, he was at the hockey game at Munn Arena against Michigan. And he is really embracing his new digs here in East Lansing and MSU. As a Michigan fan, I'm worried because I think he's going to bring an excitement to this university, and I think the teams or the players are going to buy in. If you're Michigan and you're a Michigan fan, you better enjoy your win this year. They might have a chance next year, but boy, once Pat Fitzgerald gets his team in, I think it's going to be a different tune here in East Lansing. Plus, they got that $400 million endowment yesterday. Things are changing in East Lansing. If I know it's early and I know it's just a few days, but Pat Fitzgerald has already brought a breath of fresh air and an excitement here in East Lansing for MSU football, and it's going to be something to look for here in the future. Speaking of Michigan State, they got a big matchup at noon, by the way, against Duke at East Lansing. Somebody bumped their head. Duke is actually playing a non-conference game against a top 5 opponent away from Cameron Indoor and not at a neutral site. Wow. Kudos to Tom Izzo and for the Michigan State brass for being able to get Duke to somehow find their way to come up to East Lansing to play a game against the Spartans. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got Presley's picks. We got a couple of Presley the Wonder Dog picks to get you set up for conference championship weekend. But first, this word right here on an extravagant few minutes. Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here. Hey, is there a ball game you want to go to last minute? How about the Spartans at Spartan Stadium? Go to the Big House to watch the Wolverines. Is there an NFL game you want to go to? Lambeau Field, Ford Field, wherever, Baltimore. How about the Tigers for the pennant drive? Well, go to SeatGeek. Get those tickets there. Use the promo code Captain Lou right on the screen, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. So go to the Spartan game. Go to the Big House. But use the promo code Captain Lou at SeatGeek, and you'll be all set. That's right. If there's a game you want to go to this weekend, those conference championship games, there's seats available for those. If you're in that area, go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou. You get $20 off your purchase. And again, NFL Sunday and Monday, a lot of seats available for those. So if you're in that area and you want to go to a game last minute, go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off your purchase. All right, here we go. Presley the Wonder Dog says she's got a couple of picks. She wants some more dog biscuits, and she wants me to have some pizza pies. So here we go. The first one, just a traditional parlay. We're going to go with the Big Ten championship game and the SEC championship game. I really like Georgia, and I really like Ohio State in these games. Georgia, I think it's tough to beat them 2 times in a row in the single season. I know Kirby Smart is only 1-7 against Alabama, but I just think they got the horses to do it. It's in Georgia and it's in Atlanta. Give me Georgia money line on this one. In Ohio State, they're going up against Indiana and Indianapolis. It may be more of a quasi home game for Indiana, but it's at Indianapolis, and I know that. But I like what Ohio State did last week against Michigan. Give me Georgia and give me Ohio State with a 2-team money line parlay. It's plus 180. Pretty good odds for that. Can't pass it up. And Presley the Wonder Dogs teaser parlay, a 3-team 10-point teaser. Give me Ohio State knocking up the points to plus 6.5. Give me Georgia. They're a 10-point. When you add the 10-point teaser, it puts it at plus 8.5. And give me BYU adding 10 points. I honestly think they can keep it at least within 3 touchdowns plus. This is a minus 120, 10-point teaser. So a 3-team teaser for this one. Ohio State plus 6.5, Georgia plus 8.5, and BYU plus 22.5. And that puts you at minus 120. All right, well, that's going to do it here for another edition of An Extravagant Few Minutes. We want to thank everybody for welcoming us into your homes, on your computers, on your laptops, however you watched us around the world right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Enjoy the games this weekend. Be safe, everybody. And we'll talk to you tomorrow with our NFL update and also an update on the college football playoff. That and more right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. All right, everybody. Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving. And as always, keep your minds open. So long. Not my best effort this morning, that's for sure.